Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to Thrive, Don't Survive. This week, we're going to be talking to Coach Yvonne. She specializes in binge eating. I'm going to leave you with her introductions of both of us, and I hope you enjoy. Make sure you like, follow, and comment.
Veronica and I have both written ebooks. You can also find my ebook, Mastering Self-Control for a Binge-Free Life, basically how to get started and find your autonomy, at my website, coachyvonnegrossi.com. But she has also written an ebook. As a matter of fact, her ebook inspired me to write my own. And so hers is called 4 Shifts That Will Transform Your Life. In this ebook, she offers journaling prompts and action steps designed for you to explore and take action toward your emotional freedom and creating a life you love. So without further ado, I'm going to add you to the stage. Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Yvonne. That was such a great presentation. I feel like I would never have done better than that.
You mentioned in your ebook that you did struggle with binge eating, but that is not primarily what your program is about. I think it's about, overall health, fitness, emotional stability. And so even though we approach things from kind of a different perspective, there is an overlap. So I'm really curious about what you do, how you do it. And my first question to you is, can you tell me a little bit about your journey with food? And then where we'll see where the conversation goes. And then what motivated you to share insights through your ebook and what you hope readers take away. And then I'll have some more questions, or we'll just see where it goes from there. So can you tell me a little bit about your journey with food?
Definitely. So I come from Venezuela, where it's, as you know, where like all the Miss Universe come from, like beautiful ladies. You think of Venezuela, you think of the perfect body, the Latino with like the curves, So, like that, growing up in that, in that culture was very hard because it's like your value is in how you look. You need to be perfect,
Mm,
you need to look perfect, you need to be skinny. You can't like not be skinny basically and not be pretty. You have to be pretty and skinny, and that's how you're going to get a man, and that's how you're going to, get a job. That's like, it's insane, but it's like that. It sounds crazy, but that's the culture.
yeah.
So, I my dad is a little like heavier, and I think I got his metabolism. And I also think that back in the day we didn't know, but I had a lot of um, food intolerances that we didn't know about.
Mhm.
So I would keep uh, like gaining weight and like losing weight, gaining weight and losing weight, like 20 pounds, like always. And so the culture was, if you're gaining weight, you need to take pills. So you take pills, and then
Mm.
you're 11 and you're taking, like this amphetamine pills that
Oh,
make you
wow.
go
Oh, wow.
crazy. Yeah. So that was what I thought was normal. Like, okay, well, I have a problem. I can't be the way I am. I need to, take pills or drops, or, there were so many. I did them all. I went to all of the dietitians, all of the everywhere to like get rid of my problem that was,
Right.
having 10 to 20 pounds like variations. So I did that for, I think, from 11 to 23, when I went to Paris to study. And I just decided I didn't want to be addicted to, pills, and I wanted to accept myself as I was. And if I was going to be overweight, I was going to be overweight. I didn't care. Like, just, it just didn't feel right to me anymore to keep
Mhm.
taking this. And I feel like uh in my household it was all about food all the time, right? So like you have breakfast, and then you're thinking about what you're going to have for lunch already, and then for dinner, and it's all surrounding food. And I feel like that's the culture too. Like it wasn't only my household, it's like
Right.
it was like that. So, and we actually ate pretty balanced. Like we didn't have sodas or like it was pretty balanced, but I think I had
Oh,
intolerances that weren't, known at the time. And that's what was making me like fluctuate so much. So yeah, then it was the struggle from 23 to now to find out, what was making me that way. I also had, the emotional eating pattern of like, I had a bad day, my boss yelled at me, so I'm gonna go and just, eat like fast food and like eat so much of it that I would not sleep afterwards or just puke at night without even noticing, which wasn't a pattern. Like I wasn't a puker, but sometimes I would stuff my face so much that like I wouldn't digest and I couldn't,
it would make you
hold it in.
sick. Yeah.
Yeah, and then my body would just like
Yeah.
reject it. Or, like I would break up with a boyfriend, I would do that too, so I did use, so it was both things like cultural and also like using the food as like an emotional cushion is like I like to call it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, so
Yeah.
once I started like hacking more like, okay, what is good for me, what's not good for me, and like getting tools from coaching, like just don't choose instant gratification and choose what's good for you in the long term and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to choose to be like, okay, I just don't want to do that right now to feel good. I could do something else, like, I don't know, paint or go to the beach or, so I replaced the instant gratification of stuffing my face with like healthier things. And then I was able to like keep that. But yes.
Yeah. Good. Nice.
Hmm.
So that's your journey with food. And obviously some things started to change and you started to see some positive results, right? From what you were implementing. What motivated you then to share these insights, specifically in your ebook? But maybe let's go back a little bit because before you wrote the ebook, you set out to. Do you call yourself a coach? What do
Yes,
you? How do you refer to what you do?
I'm a life coach.
A life coach. Okay. And so
Yes.
you set out to become a life coach. What prompted you to go in that direction?
So I've always been very good at listening and I always wanted to be a therapist, but in my family, that wasn't a good thing. It wasn't well seen. So I had to choose something else because I was gonna go study abroad. So I studied film, which is my second career. I'm a film producer.
Oh,
Um, yeah,
oh, nice. I don't think I knew
yeah, that's
that.
my full-time job. Yeah, I'm a film producer at a voiceover
Oh,
studio. Yes. So I studied
nice.
that, and then when I started getting a little burned out with that career, because I've been doing it for 15 years, I needed a little change, and I was like, "What can I do?" And then I went back to, like, okay, therapy. I really like. I like helping people. I like sharing. I think my dad has a very big charisma, and my mom too. Like they're educators, so like I feel like I have that
Mm,
like, inherently from them, like where I can express myself and people listen, and like I don't know, I feel like I'm good with words, and so yeah, I like studied my options, and coaching was available. Somebody that had done that referred me to a program, and I did it, and it was actually life changing for me because I used to be like kind of miserable as an immigrant in America, and
mm,
like I was in New York and I didn't have family or friends or anything. So it gave me the tools to, get out of there and just use the cards that I've been shuffled in the best way that I could. And then I just switched my life, and now I'm like super happy and super fulfilled. So I want to share that with people and help them do what I did for myself. So that's kind of like my
Yeah.
life calling. Like that's my purpose. Like I feel like
Your
this is what I
passion. Yeah.
here to do. Yes.
Yeah. And your ebook is actually in English and Spanish, which I don't read
Yes.
Spanish, but but it is. And so you have quite a bit of a Spanish following, don't you? Spanish speaking,
Yeah,
I should say.
I do. So yeah, so most of the people like in my research study and everything were Spanish speakers. So I felt like I needed to address that, like that part of it, as well as the English part, because I love both. I feel like I can help
Uh-huh.
both, and also like the Latino part, community is, you know, I feel like they can relate to me even a little more because we have the same path of like immigration and like coming from the culture of like you need to be pretty, you need to be amazing, your value is in how you look and not in what you do, not in who you are. So
Mhm.
um so yeah, I feel like I can bring a new perspective and a new tools for those people that are like a little stuck and miserable from that upbringing.
Nice.
Mhm,
Beautiful. Beautiful.
mhm.
Um, Reflecting on your journey, what's the one lesson about food and eating habits that you wish everyone knew?
Wow, that's a really good question. Um,
Or maybe, if that's too specific, if you want to talk about a broader, doesn't have to be eating habits. Like what's the one thing that you think would be most important for people? Maybe it's not one. Because I know in your ebook you got four, right? Four shifts.
yeah,
You got four
yes.
shifts. You want to share a little bit
So,
about that? I mean, obviously people can read you want people to read your ebook for more in depth, but maybe just share a little bit about your thoughts when you created the book.
so what I wish I knew and I didn't know before would be, well, first of all, like the gut brain um, connection, where it's like, if you're
Mm,
putting food inside of you that's not good for you, it's gonna affect everything. It's gonna affect your brain. It's gonna affect your mood. It's gonna affect your
yeah.
everything, your day, how and so for me, the most important part is to understand your body. Because, like, for me, for example, like, I didn't know I was gluten intolerant and lactose intolerant, and I have insulin resistance. I have all these things that I had no idea I
Mhm.
had. And just eating, bread once in a while, it was just inflaming me. Like I was just like a balloon all the time, and I felt without energy. I felt, like always like very heavy and very like, I don't know. It was like even stress was like higher and harder to manage for me.
Yeah.
So if you actually go through, like tests and stuff like that, you can actually like pinpoint, and your body is never like, oh, today I'm gonna make an exception and not be intolerant to this. Like once it's like,
Mhm.
for at least that's my experience, right? For me, it was like that's what changed everything, because I would do exercising, I would do like a lot for years, I
Mhm.
would very healthy, I would do everything, but I had so many food intolerances that it wasn't doing anything for me. I was still heavy, I was still bloated,
Yeah.
I was still heavy, and which I don't think it's a bad, like I don't feel like, again, my value is not how I look, but I did feel
Mhm.
better when I took those things out of my diet. And it was
Yeah.
so easy because now
Yeah.
there's like alternatives for everything. So it's not like you're, and also like, don't use it as, or don't see it as a diet, see it as a lifestyle. Like when you change that mindset,
Right.
it It's like mind blowing. Like it's okay, I want to be healthy, not skinny. I just want to be healthy. I want to
Yep.
just use this as my life, and people are going to be bothered by it. Like I bother everyone. It's like, but why do you do that? But okay,
Mhm.
can you live a little, or da, da, da. And it's like, it's okay, like you don't have to approve it for me to keep doing it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think those
that's
are like,
true. Yeah.
do you have that same problem?
Good point. Yeah. I find that people, when people, I think what you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, and from what I hear, what you're saying is a lot of times people will remove certain foods from their diet just for weight loss and not
Mhm.
understand that those foods might actually be affecting more of their life than just their weight. And so
Yeah,
while there's nothing wrong with removing stuff for weight loss, um, we don't want to put all of our value in our weight, but it might be we might feel better removing certain things or adding certain foods, um, affecting our whole life, right? Affecting how we feel emotionally, not just physically, but um, if, our day as a whole. And yeah, yeah.
exactly, and I
Is
feel
that is
like
that is
they
that about right where you're going? Mhm.
exactly, yes, that's exactly what I meant. And also, like, this inflammation that these foods are giving you, it's not only for right now, it's also like in the future. It would bring you like autoimmune diseases. It would bring, like conditions. Like, I have
Mhm.
so many girlfriends that have like PCOS, and I took, like, I had PCOS and I don't have it anymore just by removing the things that
Mhm.
were inflaming me, which is crazy because like
Yeah.
doctors don't tell you that. They're like, no, take a pill, take hormones, take, and it doesn't get better. It
Yeah.
gets worse. So
Or they'll
it's,
just
I
say,
feel,
"Just lose weight."
yeah, uh-huh,
And it's like, yeah.
exercise
And
and
then from your
diet.
culture, it's this is how you did the doctors, in Venezuela give the pills freely then? Or how
It
did how
wasn't.
did how did you have access at 11?
That's a good question. It wasn't the doctors. There is always people that have a pill that everyone is going crazy about. So it's like kind of like an underground.
Mm,
It would be almost like the holistic medicine right now, but it wasn't for, like your better health and for hacking your system
got
and
it.
being
Okay.
happier. It was more like to lose weight. So there's a whole system of people that just would just bring, I remember one of the ones that I took for the longest time was, there were drops, and it was like from the sea, like algae stuff, and like natural stuff. And and sometimes it would be bad for you. Like I remember sometimes fainting at
Yeah.
school, and like needing potassium to like counter effect whatever it was doing. And it was
Mhm.
crazy. But no, not
Yeah,
the doctor.
yeah.
The doctors
Here,
wouldn't give you.
I think really, see, I think here it's a little bit it might be a little different. I don't know. How long have you been in America?
It's about to be 8 years.
8 years, okay. And it could be, when I was younger, not young, well, young-ish, young adult, I should say. And I've seen it a lot even in recent years, like with my father before he passed, and my father-in-law as well, and some other doctors. The standard thing that I would hear were, "You just need to lose weight. Um, just stop, don't eat so much. Stop eating this, just everything in moderation." There's so many different things. And then here's a pill. Not necessarily the pills that you're describing, although we do have those now, right? Currently, which I'll
Mhm.
get to in a moment. I'm kind of curious on your thoughts. But pills for whatever effects that they're having, and then and it's probably my parents' generation a lot, and I think my generation has come to recognize that we don't want to take pills. Like we see our parents, and our parents pass away because they're taking pills because of the side effects of the pills that they're taking. So they're taking this literally a box full. They have to take these boxes with them to the doctor and to the next doctor to show them what they're taking. And it's just crazy. And yet they'll say, well, you could probably get off these, you just need to lose weight. And and my generation typically doesn't want to be on those medications, and we're doing whatever we can to avoid them. I think we keep trying really hard, and spinning our wheels and going on all these different diets, and then struggling with, which my case was the binge eating, which I struggled with binge eating most of my adult life, but it got really bad over the last few years before I was able to get help for it. And I think that all the diets led up to the seriousness of the binge eating. But to go back to medication, I'm curious about what you think about the latest I don't know what it's called. It's the O
Ozempic.
word that I don't want to say because I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have no
Ozempic.
idea how sensitive the topic is on YouTube. Like, are we going to get a strike for it? I have no idea. But yeah, those weight loss pills that are currently out there. What are your thoughts on it, Veronica?
I think that's the same as like the instant gratification. It's, in my experience, you take the pill and then once you're off it, you gain the weight back. So I remember one of
Mhm.
these ladies that gave me one of the pills once, she said, you need to get your brain, like the surgery in your brain, like this is not working for you. Because I would go back and back and back, and
Oh,
people would usually do it once and then change their habits. So the new
interesting.
yeah, the new Ozempic, that's like a shot, and like all the celebrities are taking it. When I started looking into my health, I got I didn't have insurance, so I went to like a cheap doctor here, and he gave me Ozempic.
Mhm.
So I started doing the shots of Ozempic,
Oh,
and because of my insulin resistance, and it didn't
mhm,
work for me.
mhm.
It
'Cause that's
didn't
what it
work.
was originally for, right?
Yes, that's what's originally for diabetes. Which to me, if you have
Mhm,
diabetes, you need your pills, you need your shots, you need, that's it. This is not to say you don't have
right.
to have any medications ever. No, like if you have something
Mhm,
that right now is cured with medication, that's fine. But this is not
mhm,
for that. This is
mhm,
like, oh, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight fast. And, it's
mhm.
kind of like a metaphor to life too. Like,
Without the feeling of being hungry. Yeah.
mhm, exactly. So it does that a little bit where it takes your hunger away, and it changes your taste buds. Like you used to like this
Oh,
flavor, now you don't. You'd like another one, which is super crazy. But when I started,
wow.
like making a little more money, and I had a better insurance, and I had a better doctor, he was like, no. And I kind of had that feeling too. I dropped it, and I was like, I don't want to do this. This is exactly what I don't want. Like, I don't want to use another
Mhm,
medication for this. So yeah, he was like, no, that's not, don't do that. That's not, you just, that's for diabetes. It's not for
uh-huh.
insulin
Mhm.
resistance. So yeah, I
Interesting.
think we don't know yet what the side effects are of that. So, just to take things because the doctor says it, now it's become to me like a little like, okay, I'm gonna do my own research. I'm gonna ask my Venezuelan doctors that don't prescribe medication like they do here. And then, I will assess the situation better and make my own choices, because I feel like
Yeah.
that's a good point that you made, where it's like, yes, over there we had the pills to lose weight, which weren't doctor advised things. Like it was
Uh-huh.
the culture, like black market or whatever. And but the doctors there do not offer you pills to do things like here. Here it's like, I feel bad, take
Mhm.
a pill. I'm depressed, take a pill.
Mhm.
Like, I went the first time I went to an endocrinologist here, it was like, oh, take Wellbutrin. I'm like, that's an antidepressant. Why would I take a Wellbutrin? Like, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I feel like the system here is not made to help you as much as make money. It's okay.
Yeah, the system, I really think that most doctors really want to get into it to help people. The problem is, I don't know if it's their hands are tied. I don't want to say that I know what the bottom line problem is, but it seems that it's more of not helping you to keep from being on medication, but
Mhm.
to, oh goodness, what is it I'm trying to say? But to keep you in a, um,
Like a
I
prescription.
kind of lost
No, but
a
yeah,
loop.
that's
Yeah. Keep you in a
yeah.
cycle. They don't want to, they're not there to keep you healthy. They're there to
Mhm.
keep you from getting sicker, right?
Yeah.
They want you to keep from getting sicker, but not necessarily to get you healthy, to get
Yeah.
you off the medications. And that's
And
where it's important to be our own advocate. Yeah.
mhm. And I feel like there's this new wave of, I feel like after COVID, like everyone's into like being super healthy and everything. And there's like this alternative medicine where they take um nutrition as like a big part of getting you healthier. And they say, being doctors, they don't teach you nutrition in America. So
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
wow, like that's so important. Like in France, they do. In France, everything
Yeah.
is about how you eat, and you have to
Right.
eat balanced and da da da. And in Venezuela, kind of too, like there's no that culture of like fast food and just eating greasy or anything like that. But in here, it feels kind of like it is. Like if you go to the FDA website, it's like, oh, eat, like bacon, bread, this and that, which doesn't mean that you can't do that. But if you go
Mhm.
to the other countries like FDA approved things, it's like, no, you need to eat a lot of veggies, a lot of this and that, and so
Yeah.
it's interesting to see the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Um, at this point, let me ask you, and we can wind down if we're about done, or we can keep talking if we find that we have something that we want to go on about. This has been good. This has been really fun, Veronica. Um,
Yes.
do you, since we're talking about, okay, let's do this. I don't want to catch you off guard, but I think I did. I think I did tell you I was going to ask this if we needed to.
Yes.
Since we are from the same business group, we know about elevator pitches. And
Yes.
maybe people that are listening and watching understand what an elevator pitch is. And so I would love for you to give your elevator pitch. And all it is just letting people know what we do, why we want to help them in a short, concise way. But we can go off on that. We can talk more about that because your elevator pitch is not just about binge eating, where mine would be, right? Yours is a little
Yeah.
bit more uh, incorporates a few other things. So is that an easy question for you?
Yes.
You
I
want to
can
give
do
your
that.
elevator pitch? Okay,
Yes. All right.
go
So
ahead.
my program is called Emotional Freedom. So I help men and women regulate their emotions effectively. I have tools that I teach my clients for them to navigate life in a more efficient way, communicate in a more efficient way. There is some nutrition involved. There is mindfulness involved. There is exercise. There is many tools that I teach everyone that works for me and that works with me. Sorry, but it's basically like how to navigate ups and downs and just live a more balanced and happy life. And it also not only affects you as a person because you're going to feel better, but it also affects the people around you because you're, more balanced and more chill, like when
Mm.
things pop up. And, you know, so I guess that's my elevator pitch.
Yeah. And I love that you are dual language, right? English
I'm
and
trilingual
Spanish,
and
right?
French.
Trilingual and
Yeah.
French. So are you going to have any book in French too?
I don't know, because I don't know if that's like something that's booming in France, like it is in here. The coaching and the consciousness and the living in a
Okay.
more, But I have talked to many friends that are into it right now. So if I see that people are interested and they're like reaching out to me, I would definitely make it in French as well.
Yeah. Maybe some Canadians. I know there are Canadians that speak French.
Yeah, the Quebecois.
So I don't know. I don't know what that culture is like. To be honest, I don't at all. I'm very American, but but I can see how it would be helpful to not just English speaking clients and people that are interested, but even those that come from your culture to America and that might struggle with similar things that you did.
Mhm.
Whether it's, I don't know, integrating into America and just a different culture, and especially the mindset that they had coming from Venezuela or another similar culture. I could see how that
Mhm.
would be really helpful with
Yeah,
similar backgrounds.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, I think most of the people that I talked to, especially researching, were in that same place where even if it wasn't here, it
Mhm.
was like, or they moved from Venezuela to another place or from Peru to another place, like that was it because it's hard. It's really hard to be in a
Yeah.
different culture and you kind of lose yourself. That happened to me, not in France the first time I migrated, but the second time when I was here, when I migrated here, I felt castrated. I felt like I couldn't be myself. Like it was such a foreign
Mm.
everything that I was like, oh my God, like who am I? As opposed to in Venezuela
Wow.
or in France where I was like, oof, I'm like this Latino bum that I can do everything and da
Yeah.
da
Yeah.
da. Yeah, so
Mm.
it's a complex feeling and experience, but you can
Yeah.
you can learn tools to be happy in it. Like right now I'm like in the state that I love. I go to the beach every day all year.
Where do
Like
you
you
live?
can decide. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
I didn't know it was in Fort Lauderdale. Did I know it was in Fort Lauderdale? Because I knew you were in Florida,
You told
but
me
I
you were
told you that I
coming
was
to
from,
the company. You're from
maybe, but I want to visit Fort Lauderdale because that's where I lived from, my childhood years from like 6 to 12. And I have these ingrained memories just about everything. Oh my goodness, so
Oh,
many things. And,
that's so cool. Where are
and
you?
I just, go ahead.
Where are you now?
I'm in Arizona. I'm down by the southern border in Arizona, kind of in a higher elevation near the mountains, and it's
Oh,
beautiful
nice.
here. I love it.
I
Um,
love that.
but I miss. Yeah, I don't know. I miss and I've been to Hawaii several times. Hawaii is not the same, but I will
Mm,
say, and I also lived in California. I prefer
okay.
Hawaii beaches and Florida beaches over the California beaches. Sorry,
Oh,
California
me
lovers.
too.
I do. I just, oh,
Yes.
and I miss the Florida beaches, and that's what I want to go back. I want to see the beaches. I want to see where I grew up. I want to visit the Keys. I only visited the Keys once, and I just have this wonderful memory as a kid visiting, and so I just miss it. I really do. I want to go back and visit.
You
But
should. You should connect here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got to plan it. I got to make it work. Um, okay, Veronica, is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't, or anything that you would like to share with before?
I have a question for you. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
So There's like this movement now of like body positivity and, accepting who you are and all this. And like, it doesn't matter if you're a little heavier or a little like, or smaller, it's like you're supposed to love your
Mhm.
body and all this stuff. And that comes with emotional eating is okay and human. Like, I
Oh,
I don't know. I wanted to talk about that and know your opinion about that because we help people not do that. But I also am so into that movement. So I don't know. What do you think?
interesting. I personally think it's backwards. That's my opinion. I think number one, health should be the top priority. Emotional, physical, the health should be the number one priority. After that, weight is completely secondary. Um, and how you feel about your body. I think once you deal with the binge eating, as is my case, and the emotional eating, which comes alongside of that, I think it's part of it, and not choosing food to feel better. I think
Mhm.
once you address that, you start feeling physically better. And if I think everybody's different, some people don't care if they lose weight. And if you don't care if you lose weight, that's perfectly fine. Are you healthy? Do you feel well?
Mhm.
And if you need to lose weight, what can we do, like for your health? What can we do to help you lose weight in a way that is sustainable and
Mhm.
healthy and doesn't harm you? Um, um, and I think the body positivity comes alongside that, comes with it. Um,
Mhm.
I did not feel well about so I like the weight that I am, but I do not feel like I have the perfect body. But when I was heavier, that was my goal. Even as I got older, it's like I had an image in my head of what I wanted to look like, what I wanted to look like in shorts, what I wanted to look like in smaller clothes. As I got down to the weight that I never even thought I could get to, because I didn't think I could lose the weight that I wanted to, let alone be smaller. And I weigh less now than I thought I could weigh. I don't have the perfect body, but I feel so much better about how I look. I would not change anything. To the point, Veronica, I'm 5'9", so I'm kind of tall, right?
Yeah.
I never wore heels. I rarely wore heels. I rarely wore high heels because I felt like I just was really big, and I was towering over men, and not that that mattered now because I'm married, but I just feel like I was always this big person. That yesterday I bought these shoes. I was telling my husband when he got home, and I got this really good deal on these shoes. Maybe I'll have to put them on and take a picture
Yeah.
and
In
show
the
what I
group
look like
chat.
in these shoes. But I love the shoes, and I got this amazing deal on them. But they're kind of like the platform heels. So the toe is kind of a platform, and then it's the heel, which makes you even taller. So my husband got home yesterday, and I was like, you gotta see what I got today." And I came out, as soon as I came out wearing these shoes, he's like, "You are so tall. I think you're towering over me." And I walked up to him. He goes, "Okay, you're not quite." And he was doing this thing. And I told him, I talked to him about it. I said, "Do you know that I used to always be afraid of being too tall because I thought I
Mm.
was so tall, and I didn't even want to be taller than you. So I would make sure that my shoes weren't taller, didn't make me taller than you." I don't even care anymore. It's like, I like these shoes. I like how I look in the shoes. And so to me, it came second. It wasn't like I had to make myself feel better about my body and how I felt in my body. It naturally came with correcting my thinking around the food and um, the thoughts that came around that. It was second, and it came in time. It wasn't like I didn't work on how I felt about my body. I just started enjoying it. I'm like, I don't care if I'm taller than everybody. I don't. Why does that bother me? Anyway, those are my
Yeah,
thoughts. What do you
like
think?
second.
How do you feel?
So I think that, well, first of all, like you brought up the perfect body, but what's the perfect body, right? Like I feel like it's
Yeah.
very like it's subjective to who's thinking about it. Like
Yep.
so it's like maybe the perfect body for you that you want for yourself, but you're born in that body.
Hmm.
So it's interesting that we have that
Hmm.
idea of like you need to be like the models or the actresses or all these things that it's just not tangible, it's not real. So that
Yeah.
for that side,
Yeah.
but also like I feel like if you're gonna harm yourself, um I feel like that's a no-go. Like, if you know what I mean, like
Yep.
if just binge eating you feel like it's normal and it's human, and well, okay, binge eat like healthy stuff. You know what I mean, like, and
Yeah.
then if that gives you pleasure, then that's fine. But I feel like it's all about harming yourself. Like if you're doing this to
Yeah.
sabotage yourself, to like feel better about yourself instead of like addressing, in my opinion, like what's actually going on, and
Yep.
getting to the root. It's almost like the pill. It's like the pill, like, okay, I'm just
Yep.
gonna stuff my face to feel better in a second, but then that's gonna bring me so many bad effects, side effects in the long run, that I
Hmm.
feel like that's a little dangerous to say and to advocate for. But I do love the body positivity, and like that people are more comfortable being in whatever weight they are, and they're healthy, and it doesn't
Yeah.
define you. So it's like, like there are some things that I'm like really attracted to in that movement, and then there are others that I'm like, okay, but
Yeah. You bring up
like,
a good point though about like if you want to binge eat. I agree with you 100%. I think there are people, and even in the people that I coach, it's like they will have these moments where they will plan, like they either plan the binge or whatever it is, and it's like, hey, if that's something that you want in your life and you're okay with whatever consequences come with it, then you get to choose. That's what autonomy is all about. You get to choose how much you eat, what you eat. I'm here to help you if you are struggling with the negative feelings that you have about that. Like if that's something that you don't want to do, let's see if we can address how we can, change that or fix that in you. But if you like the weight you are and you're fine with it, and you're also fine with any consequences about it, I am not judging you. As a matter of fact, the people that, although I cared about my father and my father-in-law, the medications that they took, and they were both overweight, they were very large. If they were okay, if my father was okay with all the medications, he wasn't okay with the side effects, but he was
mhm.
okay with medications. And I would have to talk to him like, okay, dad, it's okay. If you want to take these, if you're okay with the side effects and the consequences that you're getting from it, I'll support you 100%. But you're saying that you're struggling with this. So how can we address that? But that's the great thing about getting to choose. We get to choose. We get to choose our own life. And so I think we're both here for those people that want something different, or they're spinning their wheels, or they are tired of hurting themselves, harming themselves. And I think that's what you brought up too. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's like when you know that this is a choice that you can make, like either harming yourself or caring for yourself, then it's kind of easier to choose, you know? It's like, okay, I know
Yeah.
this makes me
Yeah.
feel bad,
Yeah. I agree.
so why would I do that? Like, why am I choosing that? Which is to me like very important
Yeah.
to address.
Yeah. Good. This was fun. Veronica, how are you
Yeah.
feeling about this interview?
I'm feeling great. This is my first interview, first live I've ever done, and it's great. Like, it felt great. I love that it was just a conversation between us two, and nothing like formal that you kind of feel like it's staged or
Yeah, no.
anything. We just shared our
We're just
opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I love? And I got a trash truck outside my window right now. This is the first day I've been able to open my windows because the weather is just beautiful here. Finally, that's
Nice.
what I miss about Florida was the mostly warmer weather. But um,
Uh,
which now I lost my train of thought. Oh, we're just, I think we probably have some different opinions on either coaching styles or techniques but I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. I think coaches are what I enjoy about coaches is they're there to help the the person figure out where they're struggling and why things aren't working. And I have a certain style, I have certain things that I think are going to help, and we'll see if, we can work together, if we mesh well together, if we're a good fit, as Lauren likes to say, right? Are we a good fit? And I think there are coaches for everybody. I don't think that we all have to agree on everything. I really don't.
yeah,
I don't.
definitely. I think that's how you grow too, like just accepting and respecting other
Mhm.
people's opinion and learning about it. And it doesn't mean that you have to change your mind, but just learning
Mhm.
new perspectives, I feel like that brings you like a lot of growth and a lot of knowledge, and you understand,
Yeah.
instead of trying to make the other person. That's one of the things I teach too. Instead of trying the other person to like change their mind to how you think, it's more like about, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that you could think that way. That's so cool. And
Yeah.
then you share yours too, and then you respect each other, and that's, you grow, you learn
Love
from
it.
it.
I love it. Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Veronica, for doing this with me. And again, where can people find you?
So you can find me on Instagram as at theconscious.coach, and my email, my website is evolvewithvero.com. And yeah, that's pretty much, my ebook is in there, and also on all my
Yep.
platforms.
Free ebook, right?
Free ebook. Yeah, you can start your journey right now with both
Yeah.
of our
Check out our
ebooks.
free ebook. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Thanks, Veronica. Thank you so
Thank you so much for having
much for
me.
doing this. Stick around. You're welcome. All
Thank
right,
you so
guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll talk to you next
much.
time. Until then, you got this. Bye, guys.
Bye.